Alright, so we got ourselves another request game coming through. This one's a turbo game, so it's going to be interesting, honestly, to see how this goes. I think this is like the first turbo game I've ever gotten a chance to do.
30 seconds to battle.
So, when we take a look at the lineups, we got ourselves Willow, Venom, Mirana, Sniper, Dazzle against Invoker, TB, Disruptor, Phoenix, Slardar. At least I believe this is a turbo game. And they're already going to get first blood here onto the Invoker. Sunstrike hits with a Slithering Crush from this Slardar. So, yeah, 1k lead. I don't know, that feels very turbo to me. I'm not really sure. I'll take a look at the experience points. I'm almost certain that this is a turbo game. If it ends up not being a turbo game, I guess so be it. But yeah, Poison Touch onto this Phoenix. Dazzle went back, and I think that's just going to get him killed. That was an odd positioning there as the right clicks come through, and they'll get the kill onto the Dazzle, making it even at 1. But yeah, like I said, if he had just gone up here, that would have been fine. I don't know why he didn't. I'm not sure what bracket this is either. I guess we could take a look. If it'll say. Who knows? Yeah, the gold seems to be moving to the point where this should be turbo. I have no idea. But if it's turbo, this should be a good one, because this, from what I saw, and spoiler alert, this one goes a little bit late. So I'm excited to see potentially some level 30s fighting each other. We'll get what we get. Southern Crush comes in, still sitting level 1, but level 2 here for the Dazzle, which is great. He's got the Shadow Wave, Icarus Dive, and the full stop. So Icarus Dive, Shadow Wave, and a lot of damage definitely there as they do lose the Disruptor, and Terrorblade forced all the way back. They were looking, oh, Bramble! Ooh, the illusion. If he had just gotten hit there, that would have been the end for him, and that's what you like to do with the Dark Willow. And we see this a lot from forward position Dark Willows. Not that this is anything in particular in terms of trade. No, just a 2-for-0. Sunstrike looking south, not going to land. Invoker not finding the kill. So 2-for-0, and you can see the lead already 3,000. Yeah, this is turbo. Okay, this game is turbo. This is ridiculous. 3,000 net worth lead already. Obviously, turbo. It's anybody's game. It feels like 1 kill at the end of the game without buybacks in turbo, to me, feels very like, I don't know. It shouldn't be that way. I think respawn timers might do better in turbo if they were cut into like a third of what they are. Because when you're dead for 70 seconds in turbo, it feels like one fight just kind of finishes the game. And that, to me, always seems very odd. I don't know why the Sniper's trying to make a move here onto the Invoker level 5 here with that Cold Snap. Losing a little bit of that armor. He's still level 5 here too. We'll have Assassinate. We'll see what build the Sniper ends up going for. And then, yeah, right now you've got this Terrorblade. He's pretty far behind. What about down bottom? It was the Dazzle, level 4. Yeah, yeah, he is behind. And if you're this Dazzle, you want to play aggressive. Should be a level in Starstorm, honestly, for the Mirana, but holding a skill point for the moment. You just go into that Poison Touch, you land an arrow, come in with the Starstorm. Probably dead, depending on the length of the arrow and how long you're going to get stunned for. I'm surprised the Mirana only dealing with one last hit. Although if Dazzle's been CSing fine, I think that's okay. Shadow Wave and a couple more shots. Poison Touch, but he's got the wand. He'll be fine. I'm just keeping the lead at about 3,000. And these heroes getting closer and closer to hitting that level 6. You've got Invoker, who's already level 7, with the Sniper, who is 6, and elected to go for headshot. So not taking the Assassinate just yet. And I think that if you're going to stay in your lane, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, the extra damage, if you're not moving, doesn't really even matter. But the Venomancer top, ooh, a couple more shots till he ends up dead to the meta Terrorblade, who's only level 5, and into the Shadow Realm. Illusion eats the Bramble Maze, but look at this. They've got Plague Wards nearby. They'll get the kill into the Terrorblade. They do end up losing this Sniper. This is 2 rotations that come through mid, and one of the things for Turbo, too, and I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing. That's not what I'm trying to do here, but it feels like when somebody gets an open lane because of a rotation like that, they're really going to benefit from it, especially in such a short time because it is Turbo. So you move 2 supports over, and all of a sudden, you know, you lose the Terrorblade top. And these heroes top start to benefit a lot more from that rotation. And now, though, Veno, Sunstrike, that's going to land. It will lose the Disruptor in return, but that is giving a kill over to the Invoker, which is not what the Sniper needs. It's actually gotten 3 Slippers and going Blink Dagger. Okay. Yeah, that's one of those things with Turbo I don't like either. You want to go into items that are really going to do... just like, you're spending 2,250 gold on a mobility item as your mid. If you can get it quickly, sure, but I don't know why you wouldn't go for anything else. Get yourself even a Hurricane Pike or go into a Maelstrom. Help you farm a little bit quicker to get to that Blink Dagger later if you do end up getting it or wanting it. Very odd Sniper build. Level 6 here, level 7 for the Mirana, who doesn't go into the Moonlight Shadow and misses the arrow. The Southern Crush whiffs on both of them, but now the minus armor coming through from the bad Juju is a lot for him to handle. If he had an arrow now, that might have been a good time to use it. Icarus Dive once again comes in, but the Poison Touch, after that right click, will kill off the Phoenix, who's late with that Sunray. So already a 6,000 net worth lead. Just a wild lead already, and you can see the aggression coming in. As that arrow hits, they'll get another kill. I think that's like the first arrow I've seen this Mirana land. So 7k, 8k lead here for the Radiant. Again, this is Turbo, so I guess you could say that's inflated. We'll switch over the net worth pretty early on just because why not? And you could see just how bad the Terrorblade's doing. The Sarda really doesn't have anything. Phoenix at the bottom of the pack. This is what happens in Turbo games. You get a couple of kills, you really do ramp up pretty quickly. Although, you can get that gold back with a kill or two. You can make up that gap. Gotta be looking to hit the Slithering Crush with the Bash, but I think going after these heroes, Dazzle hasn't taken Shallow Grave, but this is still feels like, and you should be going after this, you should leap. Not that it'll be needed, but a Sunstrike comes in to kill the Dazzle. That'll help the Invoker. Give him a bit of gold, but yeah, they get the kills. It's just not that great. You're going after a very sustainable bottom. Doesn't even have Shallow Grave. He's heavy in the Poison Touch, you know, heavy in the Shadow Wave, giving you minus armor. There's not really much you should do. I don't think you should be engaging on that. Just try to farm wherever you can. Especially if you're not on that last, you know, that 4th hit for the Bash. Static Storm with the Kinetic Field. Bring over the Sardar. So, Poison Nova in. Terrorize. Fear him away. Poison Touch as well, but they just lose the Venomancer. And you see that cuts 2k into the net worth. They get a bunch of gold going their way, but they lose the Phoenix again. So... Not a great feeling. What is Sniper going for? Alright, so he changes his mind, goes for Maelstrom. Good. I really think that should be the play. And just look at the harassment this Terrorblade's taken. He's going to get the Sunder off. Assassin, he comes in, but the Bramble Maze is placed behind him. He's dead regardless. Cursed Crown will pop. Same with the Shadow Realm Strike. That comes through the kill for Terrorblade. A lot of damage from the Invoker, which I think is the saving grace for this Dire team. Or has to be the saving grace for this Dire team. Bramble Maze, Cursed Crown, so those will both hit. Goes into Ghost Walk, Cursed Crown pops, Sentry down, damage done, they'll get the kill. Good on them to be holding that Sentry. And just continuing to extend this lead. Like I said, you can see the Invoker being the saving grace. Sealston top of the net worth. Dark Will is actually up there, surprisingly. And the Will's got Tuned Talisman's Blink Dagger going into the Orchid. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Dark Will go looking for, you know, an Ags or something like that. With the level 25 of the extra attack speed. So, I will say I'd like to see the Radiant probably playing a little bit more objective as Veno. Sunstrike lands, and you're forced to use that Supernova. Was thinking about going in with the Bedlam, and now look at the Terrorblade. He is just getting harassed so much. He doesn't have Sunder. Assassinate flies in. Shadow Realm Strike in trouble. He's dead regardless. He doesn't have the Icarus Dive anymore, and there's the kill. So they get yet another. At the moment, they really don't have an answer. I'd rather have the Invoker farming. He's gone into an urn, but he doesn't have any charges on it because his team really can't get anything done. He can't get any kills. Can't fill that urn. He's going Blink Dagger next. Ooh, Mirana silenced. Good kill there. Gets a spree. How much gold did he just get himself? Good chunk. He's got the Arcane Boots. 1,400 gold. Ags would be a great item for him. Even going straight into that Ags is not a bad play. You've got the Keen Optic. You have extended cast range. Why not, you know? Ooh. Over mid. Shallow Grave. Stops the TP, though, with the Cold Snap. They've got Shrapnel down to look for the Assassination. It won't go off, and they will get 2 kills. Phoenix gets 1, and Disruptor gets the other. Again, 2 kills. You slowly pull your way back into this, and I guess not slowly. It is turbo. You do it very fast. Invoker still leads the way. And then it's all 5 of the Radiant Heroes. Splits are crazy. Earn for the Veno with that Veil. Veno and Turbo is so frustrating to deal with. He may not be that viable over in pro games right now. 3 leaps back and forth. They've got themselves the Corrosive Haze. Not going to matter if you go into that Moonlight Shadow. Sunstrike. Not going to land, and they stopped attacking. Zero's now come over from the Radiant. They've got Cursed Crown. Sardo trying to get away from this one, but the Blink with the Bedlam does a lot of damage, and will get the kill. They also lose the Phoenix. There's Static Storm, but Sniper made the rotation. Opens up some space for the Terrorblade. He desperately needs that. Invoker? Oy. Holding Royal Joey?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There we go.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Gotta love when range creeps give you that much gold. And Philosopher's Stone, which will only help you ramp up a little bit more. And a turbo game. Always nice. I think this time sitting back and farming is honestly quite nice for the Dire. They need it. They need a moment to just kind of get some farm on this TB and then hopefully work from there. I think one of the things that really hurts a TB is just like the fact that meta in a turbo game, so like, if this makes sense, the thing that makes Terrorblade a hard hero to play in Turbo is the fact that his Metamorphosis, which is almost universally seen as being his ultimate, despite the fact that it's not in that slot and Terrorblade's got Sunder, is 155-second cooldown. So being on that 155-second cooldown, the percentage time that it's on cooldown in a normal game compared to a turbo game is usually a lot higher. You almost always get like 1 or 2 metamorphoses off, or metamorphosi off.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Because turbo games tend to last like 20 minutes.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
1 or 2 is probably a little bit of sentence put in through hyperbole as they lose the Disruptor. Supernova doesn't go off. They get the kill, though, onto the Sniper as well as the Mirana. They look over this Dazzle. There's the Metamorphosis. Poison Nova. That comes through as well as the Terrorize, so that'll stop this Terrorblade from helping the Invoker. They've got the Vision Form? No, they actually don't. Now Terrorblade's going to continue in with the help of the Slardar. Blink, Slithering Crush. They've got the Bash onto the Venomancer. They finally take out this Invoker. It's Venom who gets credit for that one. Corrosive Haze onto this Dazzle, and this is a fight that they need to really bring this back, but now Slardar trying to TP out instead, and that decision comes at a poor time as Dazzle turns around with the help of the Dark Willow to get that kill. Bedlam, disgusting ability. Single target, it's just gross.
The prize is mine.
Say Akaya, Yasha, Ags finished off for the Invoker, who should have got a lot of gold from that last fight, and he probably did. Midas, interesting. I don't know if Midas is really not great in turbo either. Arrow? Unfortunately, Phoenix eats that arrow, though. Tornado with the EMP and a Slithering Crush. Mirana saved with the Shallow Grave. Ooh, Sunstrike. Got her. They use the Moonlight Shadow, though, before the Mirana goes down, so this might be their moment to move in. Blade Ward's out there, Blink, Slithering Crush on it to the Terrorize, only hits onto the Slardar who's on the run, but the Poison Nova comes in as well as the Assassinate Bedlam. They'll get a kill. Some illusions made, Supernova a bit far back. They're going to try and take out the egg, but there's the Yules, and Supernova does have a chance to go off. This is really a fight that's split into two, Invoker going the other way. Heaven's Halberd. So let's see. Sniper. Going pretty greedy with a Philosopher's Stone. That is ridiculous greed, actually. And you can see where the Sniper sits in terms of the net worth compared to the rest of his team. I feel like it should be on this floor. It really just is the ultra greed play to be putting it on somebody else. Mirana making tough decisions here? Okay. Trying. That's for sure, as Dazzle gets caught. Or should I say the Invoker gets caught. Dark Will is here. Curse Crown will pop. Need some help. They need a blink into a Slithering Crush, but it's way too late. Now the Assassinate with the Bramble Maze. The damage out on the Slardar. Looking for the Terrorize, which does end up landing. Blink forward from the Dark Willow, and there's not really much help for him. Bramble Maze down again. He'll get wrapped up. Rooted, glimpse, too late, and they do get both.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ags there. Oh, Dazzle. Still okay, but they've got the glimpse back into the Static Storm kinetic field. Do they have the damage to even get this kill? Lay down the kinetic field, but the Bedlam, yo, look at that. It's just so much damage. They'll get the kill on the Phoenix. They're taking out everybody. Sniper picks up the Aegis. Poison Nova used. Terribly trying to do what he can with the BKB being popped. They'll take out the first life away from this sniper. Now, what else can they get? They fight him again. Does he have Sunder? Yeah, he does. So if he could just find somebody to Sunder, that would be great. But ends up being a full team wipe as they take out the Terrorblade. Sunstrike not going to land.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Look at the little amount of health that he survives with. So, Telescope. Will he hold that? Or is that going to go to the Dazzle? Okay. I don't know why the Dazzle isn't, or the Disruptor isn't picking it up. Should go to him. So far, 12,000 net worth lead. Looking for the E-Blade, has that Ags. Goes into the Shadow Realm where it'll just hit harder and harder and harder, and already at that level 28. So yeah, like I said, really hoping to see these level 30 heroes, and that's looking like what we're going to get. We've got a level 25 Invoker. Doesn't take the Radial Deafening Blast, which is a bit surprising, but... Alright. Still on the run. Arrow coming through. Not going to land on anybody. This Sardar is really going in without much help. Arrow doesn't land, but there's the Deafening Blast with the Chaos Meteor. Venom Scale flies in. Icarus Dive all the way across. Supernova, though, it's not in a great position. Tornado, EMP, that comes through. Terrorize used, and the Terrorblade is running back, but there's the Bedlam BKB. Can he get the Sunder off? No, he can't. He's got to find somebody. Oh, no. That's going to be one. Maybe make it a second. Down goes Phoenix. Slardar low, as is the Invoker. He'll pop the Yule as the Assassinate flies in. Won't land. Goes into the Ghostwalk and blinks away. So far. I mean, he is still on the run, but ends up surviving. Disruptor near. Shrapnel. TP attempt. Ooh.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Getting sketchy.
Double damage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, finally taking tier 2s. I feel like this definitely could have been accomplished
Dire's top tower has fallen.
earlier.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See the Forge Spirits coming in. Pushing out these lanes, trying to do what they can. There's the Hex. What are we looking at levels wise? 28 for the Dazzle. Dark Will should be up there. 29, yeah, getting close to that. 30. And as much as the Terrorized Duration's great, certainly love attack speed. That's what you're going to try and use. Sunstrike comes in with the Slithering Crush, not going to land. Invoker over. Tornado hits onto the Dark Will if they want to commit for this. The EMP2. Hex damage, and you look at what that Ocean's able to accomplish. Supernova now. Cold Snap, it's going to make him hard to hit this Supernova, but it does finally pop. They've got Metamorphosis. They'll focus on this Mirana first. I think they should be going after the Sniper. Sunder on a low health target, and now he's forced to try and run. He's got the BKB, but there's nothing he can do against the right click in the Shallow Grave on this Sniper. Might have wanted to focus that a little bit earlier, but he went after the Mirana first.
My deepest thanks.
They get the Dark Will, they get the Mirana.
Radiant are scanning.
Roche is up if they want this second life. Scale. As well as the long Icarus dive. Cataclysm. Dazzle taking some damage. Invoker over here. And, alright. Another Poison Touch and the right click damage onto this Slardar. They just can't keep him alive. Shallow Grave once again. Yules comes in. He'll go after the Disruptor this time. And, well, they just can't kill the Sniper. Static Storm finally takes him out, but you were throwing bodies just to kill one hero, and that's really the benefit coming through from this Dazzle to keep him alive. I will say, though, despite the start, despite where the net worth is right now, I'm not really certain that Radiant are taking their advantage and pushing with it enough to feel comfortable. Again, this is Turbo. One fight or one bad move, and all of a sudden, the game's turned. Wouldn't be too surprising. (16-1) for the Dark Bow. Have an amazing game. Going into the Lincolns next, trying to stay safe. And closer and closer to 30. Terrorblade takes the Sunder cooldown, which I don't know if he really needs the Sunder cooldown. Yes, that gives him the ability to Sunder swap every 8 seconds, but I think his target, his problem hasn't been getting a Sunder off, because I don't think he's really had multiple targets. He's been struggling to find one singular target. I think it's how close he has to get into these fights. So having the extra range might have been better. And now that BKB's down, walks into the pit. BKB down, this is a time for you to fight if you're the Radiant. Arrow hits the Phoenix. And they've got everything to kill off the Invoker very quickly. They go after the Disruptor. Icarus dive all the way across. Now the Supernova. Might be able to do work. I don't know that Sunder was really what he needed, but again, he's got the 8-second Sunder. It's off cooldown once again. He throws some damage out of the Dark Will, and finally the Shallow Grave will be off this Sniper. He might even want to Sunder the Phoenix, and know that might cause the Phoenix to die. That'll keep the Terrorblade alive, which is really all they need. Finally, the Shadow Realm Strike takes out the Phoenix. Mirana's got the Aegis, and Terrorblade's unfortunately not able to really find an amazing target to just kill. Into the Shadow Grave, or Shadow Realm once again. Sunder stopped thanks to the Lincolns. Arrow flies through. That hits on the right Terrorblade. E-Blade. And now they get the kill onto the TV. They look over at the Slardar, and they should get themselves a full team wipe. And this is where you just push in and finish. TV just kind of standing there and never found anyone to Sunder. Except his own Phoenix.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are falling.
So Dazzle now has that 30. Dark Willow has that 30, so the added Terrorize duration, the extra 50 damage. I don't know what the other two were that he was missing, but the Poison Touch slow, the Juju armor reduction, like, those are disgusting. Hex. E-Blade, Bedlam, and that's a dead Invoker. Sunray does a lot of damage. Terrorize hits. Bramble Maze not in range. There's an MKB. Jesus. Break that Lincoln's, remake it. He's taking a lot of damage from his own illusion. Needs to recognize that. And now the BKB, they're going to try and go after him. An early Shallow Grave. Supernova by the trees? No. But maybe that might be a spot where you would want to take it out. Time the Shallow Grave, but... Again, that's just an early BKB from the TB, and he's used meta. Two pretty important cooldowns here that Radiant should be able to take advantage of.
The prize is mine.
Another spot that really looks like that was the the range that would have helped him. Invoker comes over, gets some intel. Venomous Gale thrown, and yeah, maybe they had vision on him thanks to that sentry. I'm not exactly certain. Scan on a Roche, surprisingly enough, like it's a good scan coming in from the Radiant, but Roche wouldn't be up. The timings from both teams are oddly in sync, but oddly wrong as well. And now the Mirana glimpse, Shallow Grave or not, you're going to end up dead here. So they get themselves at least the first life out of their hands of the Mirana, but look at this from the low ground, all the damage that Sniper's able to get. 40k lead. The fact that Phoenix still has under 10k this late into a turbo game is kind of disgusting, but you can see why, as Dark Will continues to just harass the Dire. Tornado was looking for the Terrorize. Cataclysm blows him up. That's big here. No buyback for the Dark Will, which is really a thorn in the side of the Dire, but they end up losing this Invoker once again. You need to go after this Sniper. Unfortunately, you're not able to get to the backlines. You're sundering targets that really don't have that much health. No Metamorphosis. And Sniper taking over the game. He'll get the kill on the Invoker who just bought back, so he is gone for a while. Ooh. They didn't commit. All right. A bit shocking. They didn't commit to the Invoker. I think he gets away with one there. Especially off the buyback. That is nuts. They take the tier 3. They're going to go for more arrows being thrown out. 50,000 net worth lead here for the Radiant side as Tornado comes in. You can see how much that Disruptor takes in damage from just a couple of shots. But going for the tier 4s, looking to finish. They have 25 seconds without the Sardar or the Terrorblade, and Terrorblade will have Metamorphosis coming into this one. Heaven's Halberd used by the Phoenix, so that'll shut up the Sniper for a split second, but still, tier 4 down. And now the other one getting pinged as well. Sniper says, get back. Cataclysm doesn't land, but Mirana, again, the Shallow Grave is what saves him. Burns for a little bit longer and finally ends up dying to the Invoker, but now Metamorphosis looking over. They should go and focus the Sniper, and finally they do. They get the Venomancer too in a bad spot. Is he dead? He should be gone. And all of a sudden it's a double kill for the Terrorblade, who sits very close to level 30. Invoker TPing back. You can see how much damage the Gale was doing to him. Nobai is back, and that's where the the timings really start to hurt you. Invoker's net worth has really, you know, gotten stymied. It feels like it's TD versus the world at this point. Trying to break through that backdoor protection, not going to be easy. They have repair kit. He could use it. No more metamorphosis. I almost feel as though this game requires you to have some sort of cooldown reduction. And, well, you should probably have Quickening Charm. I would say that shouldn't be on the Invoker. And now you see he gets hit by the arrow. Will he survive? No. And he's dead again. I think Quickening Charm not on the TV is a bad choice. And now your Invoker, I would say, probably should build in, or your Terrorblade should probably build into an Octarine Core.
Go for me.
Dark Willow, E-Blade, Bedlam, goes into the Supernova immediately. And now trying to find the Dark Willow, turning, Bramble Maze, not going to land. Blink, Slithering Crush, this comes through, they break the Lincolns, they've got the Corrosive Haze, so the minus armor, and all of a sudden Dark Willow melts. They were finally able to get on top of this Dark Willow. That's what allows them to get the kill. Leave some slippers, leave the cheese. Mag's Blessing on the Dazzle, but he has to figure out how to use an inventory at the moment, unless he's giving it to the sniper, yeah. Alright. Fair enough. I would agree with that call. So now you've got the Ags, of course, with Sniper. Don't see it that often, maybe in your pubs, but it's been pretty popular on 4-position snipers, which this is not, but now it ends up giving you that stun duration of a second and a half, and allows you to shoot in just a half second. So, half second, boom, stun, easy. So, Prince's Knife for the Mirana. Who's going to hold that? They going to give it to the Sniper? I don't... Sniper doesn't need this Grove Bow. 100 attack range. 25 talent? That's when I feel like attack range... Like, that shouldn't be a 25 talent if this is a tier 2 neutral item. B-Cop questions it all, I guess. So, you'll have to defend. That's not really defending. Gets his Aeon disc popped, and now they're going to go for the tier 3 over towards top. Smoke was popped, but let's see what they can do to get into this. They've got the Tornado Cataclysm in the kinetic field, and Mirana eating a lot of damage. They need to get a bash out right now onto this Sniper. They're one hit away, and they'll finally find it. So now the Supernova is going to stun him too. Ooh, actually, he won't get stunned, but that's because his first life is gone. They killed the Dark Willow. They've got the Mirana. They'll look for more of the Phoenix back into the second life, or after the Supernova, as is this Sniper. But look at the damage coming in. He'll eat the cheese. He'll go after this TB. TB does have Sunder, but TB's beating him. And they kill the Sniper. They kill the Venomancer. The only one alive right now is the Dazzle. And then a BKB afterwards is popped by TB. Okay. Comeback initiated. Sardar. Oh, gosh. You went greedy. Can you survive? Yes. The answer is yes. 52,000 net worth ahead. Still, though, what does Dota Plus have to say about this one? Early on, Dota Plus said it was 90% in the bag. And here, that's about 95%. Okay. now they're in. They'll move forward. They'll take the tier 3. They'll try to finish the game. Blink Southern Crush actually hits the Mirana. I'm surprised this Sardar doesn't have an axe just yet. Icarus Dive and then the Yules. Kinetic Field. What? Hello?
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Cut down by 5k. Although both outposts again for the Radiant. Leveler, that's a fun one to have. Telescope for the TB. Okay. I guess that gives you reflection. The attack range is nice. Okay. Well, now he's level 30, so he's got the meta attack range. So he should be hitting from very far. Everybody's about hitting that 30 mark. Who's not 30? Disruptor, Phoenix. Okay. Sardar going for an axe? He should be. Should it be? Yeah, he could. I like the axe. I like it earlier. I don't think he needs a Midas. I think a Midas was ridiculous. But you're not 6-slotted, you might as well hold it. No reason to give it up. Meanwhile, Roche, Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard, and the Ags all in the hands of the Radiant if Desire don't do something soon. There's 4 Roches for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Divine Rapier. Going all in when I don't think they need to. Got a 50k lead to give the kind of damage that a Divine Rapier and the True Strike that it gives into the hands of the Dire if you are to die, and we've seen that you are vulnerable. Makes me wonder, especially because now you've got a Mjolnir. It's a 65 attack speed out of your hands with a second life. Yes, that's great. But is it enough? And you know, you've got the save from the Dazzle. Dazzle's got to be on your ass now. It means you can't save anybody else. You want to get the Satanic. I think that's very important. Because now Icarus Dive the right on him. Supernova comes through, and they're going to look after the Sniper. Like I said, he's in a lot of trouble. He's already dead for the first time. They've got themselves the kill into the Venomancer as well as the Dark Will. They don't have buyback on either. They'll get a second life from this Sniper, most likely, as there's the Shallow Grave as the Dazzle's up on the high ground. Dazzle looks like he's going to get low as well. They'll lose the Invoker, but they lose the Dazzle, the Divine Rapier, or they lose the Sniper and the Dazzle. The Divine Rapier on the deck, and now they need to pick this up, but he should probably Sunder. So now he's got the Divine Rapier. He really could blow anybody up that he wants. And you look at the damage that he gets, and Mirana's dead. All of a sudden, that's a 50k lead. Look at how much of that switches. And the fact that this game is basically... the attack range is wild.
Radiant's bottom tower
Basically now into the hands of the Dire with this Divine Rapier. He's got a Leveler too. He should be looking to get himself a Satanic. You need to stay alive at any means possible. You got 14k. Satanic should be the move.
Bloody ones, thank you.
Is he going to build another one? No, he'll go back to the Satanic.
Regeneration.
And he had 2 lives there. And the thing is, like, 2 lives just don't matter. At that point, You're dead once, you're probably dead twice in Turbo. There's so much farm on these heroes. They have everything, they're level 30. Dead once is equal to dead twice, pretty much. That's why I think Divine Rapier was just not the right call. I think you're gonna die in this Turbo game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, now we find ourselves about, I would say even,
Top tower is falling.
50-50 if I were to check Dota Plus. Yeah, no surprise. At least that's how the game feels. And yeah, Dark Will doing the right thing, trying to split push here. You need to be split pushing. Invoker's back. That's not the wrong move at all. Going Ag's Blessing.
Dire's bottom
You
barracks are under
don't.
attack.
You could really sell the Ags after if you control Roche. If you can control Roche, give the Ags to yourself, sell the Ags, and get something better. I would save your money. BKB, Slithering Crush, and now the leap onto the high ground, but they found the Dazzle. They look for the Cataclysm. They've disarmed him. They've done a lot of damage onto the Dazzle. He just gets the Shallow Grave off. Ooh, with like 10 health. Kill the Invoker, Supernova down with the Static Storm, the Kinetic Field. They'll stun up this Dark Will. They'll commit to the Metamorphosis, and now they've got a Dark Will that is forced to use buyback. They've got buyback available on the Sardar as well as the Invoker, but they won't use it just yet. So now, Manta comes in, Moonlight Shadow used. They're trying to chase on this. The Kinetic Field is in a nice spot, but the Blink Forward, the damage coming through from the Illusions is a lot. And they pop the Lincolns. He needs to find a Sunder target. And they're on him really well, and they get the Divine Rapier back. I don't know why nobody's committing buybacks there. You've got Boots of Travel. You could have been in that fight. Yeah. Both your teammates have Boots of Travel. I think that's you can't give up the Divine Rapier in that spot.
Dire's bottom barracks are under
Sniper doesn't have buyback. You kill him again, he's not coming back. But now you're buying back, and your Terrorblade doesn't have Metamorphosis to work with for 100 seconds. He was using it with that Divine Rapier, was doing a lot of damage. Now he's got a Satanic, but he's minus that Divine Rapier. I think that was a moment where you need to commit to the buyback and try to get into that fight as best you can.
bottom barracks are under attack.
So, I think everybody's got Ags. Everybody's got Ags. They'll hold it. But no reason to, yeah, I don't know what they do with that. Another Divine, again, I don't think you should be going to drop another Divine Rapier. Go Satanic. The status resistance alone is worth the gold. Do you hold buyback? Not really anything that I'd be willing for him to swap except for Boots of Travel. Maybe even just the Hurricane Pike at that point.
Take us.
Get rid of that.
Dire's bottom barracks
They're going to look for the bottom set of racks. They've got the Static Storm down onto the Mirana. Meanwhile, backlines, Blink, Slithering Crush coming through onto the Sniper. They've got the Bash. They have the damage. They've got the Slithering Crush once again, but now he gets the Force Staff onto the high ground. They look over the Dazzle. The right-click damage coming from the Sniper is going to be a lot. They kill off the Mirana. They'll look for the rest. The Cataclysm down! Sniper, double Cataclysm, loses his first life. They find the Venoman, so they'll get the kill there. You need to find a Sunder target soon. No, he's okay. He's working it. He's working it. Ooh, Sardar. Jesus. Ticking down pretty heavily. So now the refresher's on cooldown. Got the racks. And got the first life out of his hands, which is great. You don't have buyback. You should be spending this gold. Ag's blessing. Get the fear out. I don't know why not. This gold should... No reason to be held. You don't have buyback. There's nothing you can do with it. It's wasted net worth. Wasted value. That or eat a moon shard. Do something that's gonna do you better than holding that gold.
A soldier's fortune.
So there they go. Looking towards the high ground once again.
Dire structures are fortified.
Looking for those mega creeps. Icarus dive supernova to the back lines. That's pretty far back, but they've got the Hex onto the Dark Will. They'll look for the Cataclysm. That'll fly in. Was hit onto the Dark Will, but they've got the supernova popping. That stuns up the Mirana. They've already killed off the Venomancer, so he doesn't have buyback. They'll look for the E-Blade as well as the damage coming from the Dark Will, but it's not going to be enough. The Terrorize flies in, hits 3 heroes. Not that they're in much trouble. They're down a Venomancer, so 5v4. Slardar, Curse Crown. Gets the Corrosive Haze off. A lot of minus armor on these Radiant heroes, but they've got themselves the Bramble Maze once again. Arrow hits, Manta used, Static Storm in with the Kinetic Field. They've got the Mirana in a bad spot. Icarus dive over. The Shallow Grave will save the life of the Mirana, but that leaves Sniper very much susceptible to dying, and he will go down. He buys back immediately. He does have enough gold to get the Divine Rapier in his hands once again, but they kill off just
Dire's
about
ancient is under attack.
everybody except
Radiant's
for
middle
the
tower is
Dazzle.
under attack.
So all of a sudden, Divine Rapier is on the deck. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to give it to the Slardar. But the Disruptor picked it up? No, Slardar picked it up. There we go. And he's going to go into the Moon Shard. I think this is not a bad choice, honestly. He's been pretty aggressive. Has the attack speed. Plus that Bash of the Deep. And they might be able to win this game,
Dire's are under attack.
as they do have a Divine Rapier in their hands. Icarus time. Let's see. Static Storm down onto the Sniper already. I mean, you see the bashes coming in as well as the Southern Crush once again. The Cataclysm is there. They've dropped the Divine Rapier once again. They'll get the count of the Sniper. He's dead for 100 seconds. They'll have Dark Will in just a moment, but doesn't look like it's going to matter. They will rip through these buildings and end the game. Jesus. So quickly through it. Let's just take a look real quick. 53-41, and they never even bring the net worth into their favor, but they win the game. Experience, you see, bottoms out when everybody hits 30. 25-7 for the Dark Will wasn't bad. At the end of the day, I think the Slardar is the one who really started getting in there pretty deep and disrupting these team fights, and the Phoenix finally was able to get some supernovas off that really helped them out. So, I mean, this was all right from both sides. There's definitely some moments where it's just questionable, but again, how much can I really judge? This isn't a pro game, this is a viewer game. And that's it. A fun one to do. Hopefully we get more. If you want to send them in, give you the instructions in the description below.